Hello, this is Mrs. Smeckens. And in all of our previous reading lessons, we've been looking at how readers use their reading voice and their thinking voice. We use our reading voice to collect the details the author gives us and then to think about them and think about what they mean. And we're going to continue to use our reading voice and our thinking voice in this new lesson series. But now what I'd like to do is talk about when readers read multiple texts. Yeah, so far, every time we've talked about a new way that our thinking voice can whisper or talk to us, we've only been looking at a single text. We'll call it text A. We've only been looking at one text at a time, which is pretty normal. But there are times that readers actually are working with two or more texts at once. We say readers have to juggle multiple texts. And so we're going to look at the idea of looking at more than one text at the same time in this lesson. Now, as we talk about this idea of juggling more than one text, notice that now I have texts plural, okay? And when I say juggle, it's harder. I mean, now you have to read, use your reading voice, pronounce the words, say all the words, and think about what they mean for one text. But then you have to read a second text and have thoughts and think about them together. Think about how they're related. These two different texts or topics. Now, when we talk about this idea, my first question as a reader, as a student would be, why would you ever do this? If it's harder, why would you ever read more than one text at a time? Just read one. Well, there are different reasons. If ever you're doing research, you're not going to get all your information from one text. You have to read multiple texts, juggle multiple texts in order to get more information, to deepen your understanding, to synthesize. Another reason that a reader might read more than one text at a time is because they want to evaluate which text is stronger, which text is better, like to write a review. We are going to look at multiple texts in this lesson series so that we can compare the two texts or the two topics that are in the two texts. So there's lots of reasons you would juggle multiple texts, but we're specifically in this lesson series only going to look at how we can compare texts, look at how they're similar, and look at how they're different from each other. Okay, that's what comparison, or some of you call it compare and contrast. That's what it means. Now let's talk for just a quick minute about how do you read multiple texts at once? Because for some people, they're going to think that you are going to like read page 1 of text A and then page 1 of text B and then page 2 of text A and no, that's cray. All right, so now I want you to really look at the numbers. This is a process. All right, so the first thing you do is read all of text A. Then you read all of text B. It's the second step. So you don't want to be juggling your reading and thinking voices for two texts at once. That's too confusing. So you read and have thoughts about one text. You understand it. Then you read and have thoughts about the second text, text B. Okay? But then when you're done reading both texts, in order to compare them, now you have to think about what you know about both. So this is an after reading strategy. When you're comparing text, it's after you've read them both. You're going to think about how they're similar and you're going to think about how they're different. All right? You don't think about similarities and differences as you're reading and jump. No, you got to just get a handle on one. Get a handle on the other, then think through similarities and differences. Okay, so when we talk about this idea of comparison, Some of us immediately think, oh, the Venn diagram. And you're like, yep, got it. No, I know all of it. Okay, here's the thing. Venn diagrams are awesome for certain people. I think they're really great for mathematicians. When you're in math class, I think it's great to find common factors. I don't think the Venn diagram is going to work for us as readers or as writers. No. Let me show you why. Okay, so you understand that this is topic or text A that I'm reading, and then this is where I'll put details for topic or text B, right? And then we know we're supposed to put things that they have in common. Okay, so you're reading text A, and so you're collecting details, right? Because isn't that what you're supposed to do? Read and collect details, right? So, okay, all this stuff I'm learning about text A, and I'm just slapping it on here, right? Making a list. That's what readers do. Sometimes they write down their thoughts, and so I have all of these thoughts. Then, Mrs. Meckins, you said, then I'm supposed to read text B. Step 2, right? Yep, you read text B. But if you're using the Venn, you're just slapping stuff. Everything you're learning about this second topic or this second text is going here, okay? And when you get done, then you compare, right? And that's when you look for, what do I know about both? And you might say, oh, well, this and this are similar, and this and this are similar. Good, got it. But then you know all your language arts teachers always want you to write about your reading. So then if we ask you to write a compare contrast essay using this, some of you be like, how should I do that? And that's the problem with the Venn for readers and for writers. The Venn separates, but it doesn't organize. Yeah, we don't want to use the Venn. Nope, I want to introduce you to the idea of a T chart. Now, some people call it an H chart because they think it looks more like an A. Who cares, all right? But this, not this. Okay, so as I tape this up, let's talk about the similarities between the Venn and what I'm proposing, which is this T chart, okay? You still have item A on the left, or text A, topic A, just like I did. So pink sticky notes are like the red, okay? And you're still going to have text B, topic B. You're going to have that information on its own side, right? And that's like the blue sticky notes. Okay, but here's where it's different. The middle is not for what they have in common. No, it's not. They both have, no. That's the problem with the Venn. The Venn doesn't have any organization to it. It has separation, but this detail's parallel friend is way down here, and this detail that you said about this text, you didn't even mention it for here. You don't know what you have. It's a hodgepodge mess. Yeah, no. What's going to go in the middle whenever you do compare contrast with a T chart is categories. This is the secret to the organization of a T chart. So when I'm looking at text A and I'm listing details from the reading, author details, facts, and what I think about them, okay, listing details and what, because readers sometimes take notes, right? They write things down, listing details and what they mean. Then anything I learn about this text or topic for this category is going to go here. And then I'm going to keep reading all of text A. Remember, you read all of text or topic A. In fact, I'll add that, topic A or text A or whatever. I'm going to read all of that first, right? Number 1, read all of text A. So I'm going to keep reading text A, and I'll learn some more things and have some more thoughts about another facet, another category, another grouping. We'll talk more about categories and groupings in another lesson. I just want you to understand what goes in the middle are categories, not what they have in common. Okay, now, as I'm reading this first text and I find information about that category, it goes here. Do you see the lines? Do you see how I'm creating organization now? Oh yeah, it's going to be so much easier to write paragraphs. Are you seeing it? Paragraphs. Paragraphs. Where are your paragraphs here? I don't know either. It's a cray mess. Now watch this. You read all of text A, right? Then you read all of text B. And when you're reading text B or about topic B, I'll go ahead and add that here. When you're reading about that, and you come across details and your thinking voice is telling you, oh, that's an example, that goes with, oh, then you're going to put any details you learn, any thoughts that you have about this category for topic B here. Do you see how we still have A and B separate? Yeah, but do you see how we have organization now? Now I don't just have all of the details thrown on the Venn. Now I have them organized, right? See how that works? And obviously, I would be collecting any details only about topic B that fit this category. That's a T-chart. That's the nature of a T-chart. And in this lesson, that's what I want to work on, is how to do comparison thinking about two texts or two topics we read and organize that thinking into a T-chart, because it's going to help us remember it, understand it, and write about it, because readers write about their thinking. And this creates order, whereas this does not. Okay, so that said, let me kind of show you what this would look like. And Mrs. Meckins is going to do it first, and I could take any two topics. I could take two body systems that I read about. I could look at two planets, two branches of government. I could look at two gaming systems. Okay, but Mrs. Meckins has to think about something she actually knows about, okay? And I don't know a whole lot about all those other things. And so I'm just going to think about something much simpler, and I'm going to just look at snacks, all right? I'm just going to compare two snacks. Let's just get comfortable with the T-chart and this idea of similarities and differences with categories, all right? So let's pretend I read all about gummies, all right? You know, those squishy little fruit snacks, and all about granola bars. Okay, and now I want to make a list, because readers sometimes write down their thoughts, make a list of details about what they have in common and what is different about them. Okay, so as I go through this, I need to be thinking about my categories, because readers have categories. When they're doing comparison, we have categories. Okay, so let's pretend that my categories were, what does each of them look and taste like? Who would eat gummies versus who would eat granola bars? And when would someone eat gummies? And when would someone eat granola bars? Okay, so now, as I go through this, all right, and I'm thinking about this idea, that middle column, those are my categories. Okay, now remember, I want to do all of one and then do all of the other. You read all of one text and collect information, and then you read all of another text and collect information. You've got to stay focused. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. You're not just cherry picking facts and details. No. You have to read and think all about one and take notes. Read and think all about the other one and take notes before you can then, after reading, really do the comparative thinking. Okay, so that said, let's just pretend Mrs. Meckins did the gummies, okay? Gummies are sweet, and what do they look like? They're multicolored, and they're little bite-sized shapes, okay? And who eats them? Kids. Kids eat them, all right? And when would someone eat them? Oh, well, if your kid is really good, sometimes I'm thinking like a parents give a kid gummies, like, good job, or a kid's crying, and it's like, oh, be quiet, and we throw some gummies at it. All right, so I did it, done. Okay, now I want to think about column B. I want to think about the granola bar in the same categories. That's why we have the rows, same categories. All right, so granola bar, what does it look like? What does it taste like? Soft and chewy, it's brown, it's long, like a bar, not little shapes. Who eats them? Adults usually, when would an adult eat them? For energy, for protein, for a big substantial snack or something. Okay, so I'm good, right? Done. Miss Meckins, I got this. This is easy peasy. I've done T-charts. Yeah, this is the problem. You think you're done. You're not done. No. Look more closely at that list. Sweet, soft, brown, multicolored. Adults versus kids, energy versus reward. Here's your problem. All you have done so far when you're trying to compare these two topics is point out how they're different people. That's the easy part. Two very different snacks. It's easy to see how they're different. You know what's hard is to figure out how they're similar. Yeah, you are not done just because you came up with some bullets for this and some bullets for this. No, Now, what I have to really do once I've looked at them individually is now I've got to start to think after reading. I did them individually, gummies, granola bar. Now I've got to look across and I've got to say, okay, so what do I know about both though? What could I add? Do I have any holes? So I'm going to look row by row at this point. All right. So soft and chewy, sweet. All right. Well, one thought I'm having is that gummies are also soft, but they're soft like, not soft like a granola bar. How are they soft and different? My thinking voice is saying they're like sticky soft, squishy soft, but they're soft. So that's a similarity I could add. And gummies are very sweet. Granola bars aren't really sweet, but they could have parts that are sweet. Like if there's chocolate drizzle or chocolate chips, there's like little parts that could be sweet. So I wouldn't think the whole thing's sweet, but it is similar in that it has some sweetness. Do you see what I'm doing? Do you see how it's easy to think of differences first, but you got to push to think of similarities? All right, let me look through and take note that, okay, soft and squishy, yep, add sweetness. All right, how about this? Gummies come out of a box and they're wrapped in plastic individually, and a granola bar comes out of a box and it's wrapped in plastic. Do you see how I can add the very same exact detail? There's a difference between same and similar. Same is both are wrapped in plastic. Similar is they're both soft in their own way. Right? That's me adding my thoughts. That's me clarifying how that detail can be similar. Well, it's similar. Same and similar are not equal. All right? So it has an element. It's kind of like that. All right, who eats them? Who eats them? Well, I said kids eat gummies and adults eat granola bars. Okay, well, now wait a minute. I have eaten a gummy in my day as an adult. When do I eat it? Well, I don't know. I just want something sweet. I just want something, little tasty, little something sweet. Okay. And I know kids eat granola bars. And so I could put kids and adults on both sides here, but I would probably qualify it. Like if you give a 4-year-old a granola bar, they're probably eating it because their parent is a healthy eater and wants them to eat more healthy. See what I'm doing? I'm adding those thoughts. All right. I want something sweet as an adult. Kids have healthy eating parents. When do you eat gummies? When do you eat granola bars? Well, I said you give a kid a gummy because he's crying and you're trying to get him to stop, or you're rewarding him. Okay, well, now wait a minute. When else would someone eat a gummy? They're fast, grab and go, in a hurry. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's also true for granola bars. I could put that on the other side too, because granola bars are great when you're in a hurry. Hey, look at this. I said that granola bars were a substantial snack. They fill you up more. You know what? When would you eat a gummy? When you need just a little something, because they won't fill you up nearly as much. Do you see how part of finding similarities is looking at what did you say on one side that you did not say on the other? Looking for those holes. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need to do. You don't just look for differences, get a couple bullets in each box and think, I'm good. No, you're not good, people. You're not good. All right, help me with this next one. Let's compare summer versus winter, and let's pretend that, I don't know where you live, but let's pretend in your summer, it's really hot in your summer, all right? Super hot at summertime, and winter is cold. There's snow, and it's frigid, okay? Again, I know we don't all live in the same places, but let's go with that. Okay, so if we read and thought all about summer regarding clothing you wear in the summer, food you eat in the summer, and outdoor activities, okay, then what would be some of the things that you would maybe put on this list? You're wearing shorts, okay, flip-flops. What are you eating? Hot dogs, hamburgers, watermelon, okay? What are you doing? Swimming. What sports are in the summer? Okay, baseball, softball. Okay, so I do one column. Boom, 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 boom. All right, bathing suits, shorts, t-shirts. Okay, got it. Okay, now, remember, step 2 is read and think all about the second topic. All right, so you still need your reading voice and thinking voice. So now we're going to think just about winter. All right, and so when you think just about winter, what comes to mind? What are you wearing? Think clothing. Coat. Okay. What other accessories when it's really cold? Gloves. Okay. Hat, scarf, boots, maybe. Okay. Let's think about the food in the winter. What food do you tend to eat when and if it's cold where you live? Okay. Soup, hot cocoa. Okay. Chili. Good. All right. How about outdoor activities? What's coming to mind? What do you play in the winter when there's snow? Snowball fights, sledding. Okay, good. And so I have this list, let's pretend, at this point. Okay? Now, a lot of us will think we are done, right? What's the problem? All we've done is show how they're different. We have not looked at how they're the same. When you write a comparison, you have to do similarities and differences, right? Right now, all I have is differences. I don't have a single thing on the right side and the left side. I got nothing. We are not ready to write. No, and it's normal. It's normal when you just think about one column or one text or one topic that you just notice big things. And normally what you notice is what is different, but you cannot stop thinking. And you definitely aren't ready to write or share your thoughts because you don't have any similarities. We got to add the similarities. Okay, you guys, so let's go back to this. Let's think about this a little more. In the summer, you wear shorts and a t-shirt. Okay, now wait a minute. Let's jump over. We have nothing about your clothing in winter. So if I'm wearing short sleeves and t-shirts and short pants, what about in a cold winter place? I could add long pants, long sleeves. Okay, now wait a minute. Let's look here. You have a coat in the winter. You never put a coat on all summer long? When would you wear a coat? If it was, what weather? Rainy. Yes, you might wear a raincoat. It might be kind of hot, but you don't want to be all wet, so you wear a raincoat. Okay, good. Bathing suit. Do you never once put a bathing suit on all winter long? All winter. No, you could wear a bathing suit, but what's the difference? You have to be swimming where? Indoors versus swimming outdoors. Do you see what we're doing, you guys? Do you see how we have to look at each detail now and say, do I have a hole there? Could I adjust it? Could I add some thoughts to really make this work? Okay, so how about underwear? Do you not wear underwear in the summer and in the winter? I sure hope you do. All right, so again, food. All right, we're thinking hot dogs and hamburgers and ice cream. And okay, good. Wait a minute. Are you telling me you don't eat a single hamburger all winter long? Not true at all, is it? No. What's the difference? Why did we put hamburgers and hot dogs on summer? Because where are we getting those? How are they being made? How are they being cooked? They're probably on the barbecue. They're being grilled. Yeah. Now, I might eat a hot dog in the winter, but I'm not firing up my grill on my porch. I'm probably going to nuke it in the microwave, right? And I'll eat hamburgers from restaurants, but I really enjoy hamburgers in the summer off the grill. See that difference? Okay. Outdoor activities. Let's drop down to that one for a minute. All right, so I get it. Yeah, we've got swimming and baseball. Yep, that's in the summer. And snowmen and forts and sledding, that's definitely only winter. But wait a minute. Do you not see people exercising in summer and winter? Is there one exercise that would work? Jogging, running, good. How about walking their dog? Yeah, your dog still has to go out all winter long. He still needs exercise. Do you see what we're doing? You have to go the extra step and really start to look for and what is similar. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Sometimes it's exactly the same. You walk your dog in the winter, you walk your dog in the summer. Okay, but sometimes it's similar. You wear a coat, it's just a lightweight raincoat versus you wear a winter warm coat and you add some things. See the difference between same and similar? I need anything I can get because the hardest part of comparison is not how they're different. It's how they're similar. Okay, what we're learning in this lesson is that when readers compare texts or topics, they do not use this messy Venn. This does not help me see where I have holes, see where I'm missing information. This is a nice organized approach. I've got categories, I'm organized, I've got columns and rows. All right, that was our focus in this lesson. In the future lessons, we're going to really look at when you're reading text, how can you collect details from text? We were just using snacks and seasons. And for our activity now, our task now, we're going to do one more setup with tasks and topics, and we won't actually use text. Okay, so I'm going to give you some choices. You can either do a compare contrast of two TV shows, okay? And as your screen shows, I'm giving you the categories, okay? And I'm looking for multiple bullets. Do all of one show, do all of another show, and then look to add bullets to both sides, because it'll be easy to come up with differences. It'll be harder to look across and find similarities. So you can do two TV shows, you choose the shows, or two holidays, all right? You can look at Easter and Christmas, you can look at whatever holidays you want, Halloween and Thanksgiving. And so the idea that, again, I'm giving you the categories, all right? And so I want you to tell me all about one, all about the other, and then start to look for any similarities you could add, any holes. You mentioned it here, but what does it look like over here? All right, you can do this using the PDFs. You can do this by just grabbing paper and drawing lines, columns, and rows and fill it out. Or I also have it as Google Docs. And so if you want to just type it into a Google Doc, I've got it ready and you can do it that way as well. All right, so if you were in Mrs. Smeckett's class, that's what we'd be doing, but your teacher might have a better idea.